Thank you. Really do appreciate the fact that those of you who have stayed to the very end to hear about Open for Business. Really appreciate that, and thank you. And thank you to Gillian for giving me this slot to tell you about Open for Business. So my name is Sandra McCaughey, and I'm the Programme Manager for the Open for Business programme. So some of you maybe already have some experience of the Open for Business portal, as it was run very successfully for over 5 years by SSE, who set up the programme. During that time, £174 million worth of business went through the programme, and over 400 separate contracts were awarded, so very successful. When SSE wanted to divest of the Open for Business portal, they spoke to Highlands and Islands Enterprise, and Highlands and Islands Enterprise decided that this was worth taking on, and they put the programme out to contract. Inverness Chamber of Commerce won that contract, and Inverness Chamber, with over 125 years of representing, connecting and supporting businesses, is well placed to deliver this programme. So my presentation, I'm aware that it's very late in the day, so I will try to make this very quick. The main thing about this presentation is to make contact with you, for people to see who I am and to please get in touch afterwards. So what we'll look at today is a brief overview of what Open for Business is, how to get started on the portal for those of you who are not already registered on the portal. We'll do a quick highlight in terms of what the portal can offer, the functionality that the portal can offer, and we'll have a wee look at what we think Open for Business adds in terms of value to business. But to be honest, I'm more interested in what businesses tell me that it will add in terms of value. These are only my suggestions. We've got some opportunity examples, and then if people want, we can have a wee bit of a question and answer session. Okay. So for those of you who know the Open for Business portal, this might look a wee bit different. If you log on to www.o4b-highlandsandislands.com, this is what you'll see. So the portal has been rebranded, but the functionality remains the same from when it was an SSE portal. So what is Open for Business? Sorry if I'm shouting too much. So what is Open for Business Highlands and Islands? What it isn't is a procurement site. It's not a procurement site. Open for Business is a platform that brings buyers and suppliers together. So basically a dating agency that brings buyers and suppliers together. It's an online portal that publicises major contracts and procurement opportunities across the Highlands and Islands. So it facilitates trade and engagement between project developers, Tier 1 and Tier 2, organisations and local suppliers and service providers. Open for Business has been fully funded by Highlands and Islands Enterprise, and it's a fully supported and free-to-use service for buyers and suppliers. So how to get started on the portal? Very easy to register on Open for Business, and it's the same whether you're a buyer or a supplier. It's the same steps that you would take. So if you're a buyer, you register, you create your business profile, you can create opportunities, and you can publish and manage your opportunities. If you're a supplier, you can register, create your business profile, receive contract opportunities, and respond to opportunities, and also track and manage these opportunities. So with one single account, you can be both a buyer and a supplier. So the registration process, fairly straightforward, asks the kind of questions that you would expect in terms of pre-qualification. So what we would look for is your organisation's details, generic information such as what's your company type, what's your company registration number, where you're based. Then we ask for insurances and policies, So what we're looking for there is, do you have your quality management statement in place? Do you have all your professional indemnity or your employer's insurance? All the policies that you would expect that you would need to have to engage in trade with a major Tier 1 or Tier 2 supplier. We also ask for some financial details, so what's your turnover? Have you ever defaulted on your banking? So information like that. We ask about diversity information, so do you have your equal opportunities policies? And we also then ask you to put together a marketing profile. When you're entering in the organisation's details, the policies, the financial details, the diversity information, if you do not or can't tick yes to all of these and upload the necessary documents, then we would say that you're not ready to be fully registered on Open4Business. But what Open4Business will provide is support to organisations and to businesses. If they say that they need support to get their quality management statement, we help with that business readiness. So an email would come through to me if you chose, and what I would do is try to support myself through the expertise that the Chamber has, or through Business Gateway, which is across Scotland, and also Highlands and Islands Enterprise. So if you needed a template for a quality management statement, we can provide that. If you needed support in terms of putting your marketing profile together, we can help with that as well, and we would put you to the relevant agencies. So the purpose of that is to ensure that the people who are actually registered as suppliers on Open4Business are actually ready to go forward. So they've passed the business readiness test and they're ready to go forward into the procurement process. So the marketing profile, that's your shop front, your showcase. That's your opportunity to say what your business can do, what your capability is, what your resources are, and it gives you the opportunity as well then to upload 3 photographs. That could be your logo, it could be examples of work that you've done, it could be if you've got a piece of specialist equipment. It's whatever you want to demonstrate your capability. So in terms of buyers, if you're a buyer, you can use the portal for posting notices. 3 different types of notices. One is a notice only. As Stephanie said, it's quite good to have a pipeline. What notice only is good for is that if you know that in 6 months' time you've got a major contract coming up, you want to generate awareness of that within the local supply chain to try and gauge whether or not there are people with the skills that you need, you can post a notice only, and that helps with strategic and operational planning, not only for the buyer, but also for the suppliers as well. It enables them to say, well, actually, there's a contract coming up in 6 months' time. I need to get some guys trained up. I need to get a piece of specialist equipment. Actually, I work quite closely with this other company. We could maybe get a joint venture together. It allows planning and allows that operational and strategic planning for both buyers and suppliers. The second notice is a contract notice, so that's just what it says. There's a contract that's live, it's going to be let, you're going to be running your procurement process, and you want to alert businesses within the Highlands and Islands that this is actually an opportunity that's coming off. When you put that contract notice on, you can use a template that you've used before, or you can draw up a new contract notice. Within that, it gives you the opportunity to create standard template questions or to tailor your own questions. So you put in the questions as a buyer that you want to help to filter out the businesses that are actually capable to go into your procurement process, and you give each of these questions a weighting, and that's how we end up with the long list that you can then create into a short list of people that you can invite then to go onto your procurement process. The other possibility there for buyers is the request for a quote functionality. Now, what that enables businesses to do is we've got 5 guys out on site. It's been PM with rain. We need to get them some all-weather gear. They can go on the portal. They can ask 3 different companies, please supply 5 all-weather jackets to be delivered to this site by tomorrow morning. What's your best price? And it can be used for typically small value items. It can also be used for larger value items, and that's some small framework agreements have been done through request for a quote if it's underneath the value that your organisation actually says that you need to put it out to contract. So the portal can also be used then to do supplier partner searches. It's a database. One of the things that we've been doing since we took over Open4Business in April is to try and ensure that the integrity of the database is as good as it can be. So what we want to ensure is that the businesses that are on there are still trading, the people that are registered as users are still actually there, and we're undertaking quite a significant data cleanse project at the moment, or piece of work at the moment. That will be done regularly so that we can ensure that actually we're sending out opportunities to people who exist, because buyers will soon lose patience if they're getting no response, and suppliers will be losing patience as well if there's nothing coming through to them. So, very important piece of work that we're doing, and it also helps us obviously to meet the GDPR obligations that we have. So if you're a supplier, one of the ways that the system matches buyer opportunities with suppliers is through the common procurement vocabulary codes. So when you put your business profile onto Open4Business, you select the common procurement vocabulary codes or the business categories that you think best represents your business. So when an opportunity is posted, the buyer puts in the category codes and they're automatically matched up, and an email is sent to the suppliers who match the opportunity codes, or the common vocabulary codes. What I would say though is that it's also a tool that businesses can use. They'll get email alerts, but it's also a tool that can be checked regularly to see if there's maybe something that doesn't have a direct link to you, but has an indirect link to you. So if you can see a contract being posted that might, by a roundabout way, give you some additional business, if you can see somebody's actually got a contract, it's a way that you can find out what's happening, understand the pipeline of projects that are coming through in the Highlands and Islands. So suppliers will be getting emails, so they can decide once they've looked at the opportunity whether it's for them. They can respond online, they can do their answers, and their responses will be scored in accordance to the template that the buyer has actually put onto the portal. So in terms of adding value, I think to be an Open4Business business is something that large developers want to be seen to be, particularly in this environment. We've heard from previous speakers where there is targets for local content, local spend, and one way you can demonstrate that is by being an Open4Business business. If you post your opportunities in Open4Business, you're demonstrating that you're actually engaging with the supply chain. One of the developers that we're speaking with that is going to be putting some opportunities onto the portal said one of the most valuable things from their experience of using it when it was an SSE portal, was that they were able to get a heat map from the portal that actually demonstrated where their spend had been. So they could pull off some figures and say, well, actually, in your area, we've spent this amount of money and offered this amount of contracts. So some useful functionality in the portal that works for both buyers and suppliers. I think because it's late in the day, I'm not going to go through each one of these. I think that it would be up to everybody to decide themselves whether this was a tool that was valuable to use or not. If you do consider that it's a tool that's valuable to use, I am based in the Inverness Chamber of Commerce offices in Inverness. I want to be as accessible as I need to be. If you want to contact me, I'm happy to come out and see you. I'm happy to have a conversation by telephone. I'm happy to have conversations wherever. We've got some events planned. We are going to be in Murray. I think it's a follow-up event from this on the 3rd of October. We're going up to Shetland with Viking Energy on the 9th of October. And I've been in Caithness this morning, which was great because that's where I come from, as you can tell from the accent. And I'm sure we've got lots of events planned to get Open for Business out there. These are some of the case studies, different types of contracts that we have had. The most latest one that we've had, which sends a very strong signal, is that the Murray West offshore wind project has decided that they're going to use the portal, which is very strong support for us. So that opportunity has been posted. That's to the Tier 1, Tier 2s. Once that starts filtering down, there's going to be lots of opportunity for the supply chain. And that's for their civils and onshore civils and installation work.